You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
Open bigotry is back in season for the Republicans, but when the Democrats stand up and fight back, the cowardly conservatives are quick to run away. Nancy Mace with a nasty face here is probably the best example of bigotry, as she's made it her personal mission from God to make trans people's lives a living hell. Especially for this woman, Representative Sarah McBride, who's the first ever openly trans representative of the United States, and has had to deal with an insane amount of discrimination for it being the year of our Lord 2025. Most of it coming from none other than Nancy Mace, who proposed a policy that was eventually taken up by Mike Johnson that banned Sarah McBride from using the bathroom in Congress. Sarah, for her part, kept her dignity and just stayed the course. She said, "The point of this bathroom ban was to bait me into a fight, was to diminish my capacity to be an effective member of Congress by turning me into a caricature," she said. "I refuse to give them that opportunity or that response that they seek. That is what they want. There is more power in not giving people what they want." And she's 100% correct, because while Sarah McBride is the first freshman Democrat to introduce a bill, i.e. getting things done, the only thing Nancy Mace has done is become the living embodiment of this meme. Sorry for the jump scare. It's like every time this ghoul is on camera, she can't help but talk shit about Sarah McBride.
That being a feminist makes me an extremist. I'm totally here for it.
Is this effort in response to Congresswoman McBride's coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man, someone with the is in the women's locker room. That's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces.
I think it's disgusting that Nancy Mace uses her history of surviving abuse as an excuse to be a bigot towards Sarah McBride when, tap sign, 67% of S crimes are committed by ding 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 Republicans. Out of the 10,000 cases from February 23 to May 24, there are 5 that involve transgender people. In fact, transgender people are 4 times more likely than cisgender people to be victims of violent crime. So forcing transgender women to use men's bathroom doesn't protect cisgender women, it just puts trans women in danger. Of course, Mace and Beetlejuice Boebert were desperate to catch somebody committing the cardinal sin of using the wrong bathroom, which led to this hilarious incident.
Today, a reporter for Bloomberg News witnessed Boebert bursting out of a women's room at the Capitol, complaining to security that there was a guy in the bathroom, and then returning to investigate, with Representative Nancy Mace, who led the crusade to block their transgender colleague from using the women's bathroom. The Bloomberg reporter said that Boebert and Mace emerged from the bathroom after concluding their investigation of the gender of the people within. Not sure what all that entailed, but no guy in the women's room.
And of course, this is the world that the conservatives want to live in. There are multiple cases already of male cops being sent into the women's bathroom to tell cisgender women that they're not allowed in the bathroom anymore because they look too masculine.
Let's go. Let's go. You have no ID. Let's go. Time to go, sir.
So you're saying you have to have an ID to go to the bathroom?
Get out of my way. Go. You can all leave if you want to.
We're all leaving. We are all leaving. Like I said, this is a girl. Don't put your hands on a girl.
They came in here in the girls' restroom because I'm a girl and they didn't think I was a girl, so they try to come take me away because I'm a girl. That was just crazy, man. So right when I walk out, I just did this. I was like, sir, I'm a girl. What's going on? What are we doing? What are we talking about here? What's going on? You're on the wrong bad.
But they don't care if any masked lesbians, for example, get caught up in this whole thing because they're coming for them too. These Republicans truly believe that anybody who's a part of the LGBTQ community is lesser than them. Listen to what this stooge says about Sarah McBride.
4 years ago, I came out as transgender while serving as student body president in college. At the time, I was scared. I worried that my dreams and my identity were mutually exclusive. Since then, though, I've seen that change is possible. I witnessed history interning at the White House and helping my home state of Delaware pass protections for transgender people.
Just eating up the applause, you became famous basically by being the first woman at the Citadel, right? First female graduate. How do you feel about her rise to this kind of prominence? Being a member of Congress is a big deal, and I can't see any other accomplishment other than being a transgender.
Well, I've broken many glass ceilings. As you said, I was the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I'm the first Republican woman ever elected to Congress from the great state of South Carolina. It is offensive that a man in a skirt thinks that he's my equal.
Sarah McBride isn't your equal, Nancy. She's 1,000 times better. This is a woman I want representing me in Congress, and this is the kind of woman that shows up in your night terrors. Nancy Mace, more like hand me the mace. If this demon showed up on my doorstep, I'd about have a heart attack. And Miss McBride has been having to deal with a ton of discrimination during her first year, from the bathroom fiasco to constantly being misgendered. But finally, some other Democrats are starting to stand up for her, because she's right, constantly trying to bait her into an argument is only going to make her into a caricature. But other Democrats making a big deal about it and shutting down Republicans when they try to be rude to her is so important to protecting this Democratic coalition and the respect and dignity of trans people everywhere. Check out this explosive exchange when the Republican chairman misgenders McBride, who misgenders him right back, and then another Democrat steps up and says, "We will not stand for this disrespect."
I recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr.
I'm
Chairman,
sorry.
could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Wow. Did you see how fast he adjourned that meeting after he got stood up to? They had no response to that because they have no decency. They are out of order. And just allowing them to skate by with these little snide remarks has not been the strategy. And I'm so glad that the Democrats are finally starting to stand up for themselves. Clearly the dramatics of it are enough to scare most of these coward Republicans. He didn't have any answer to the question of what standard did the House set. Because while it's true that while on the floor of the House, Mike Johnson, for example, misgenders McBride, that doesn't mean that there's a new standard set. That doesn't mean you just get to disrespect the only trans representative that we have. I hope more of these disruptive clashes happen each time they want to disrespect McBride. Where she can't speak for herself because she's expected to be an effective member of Congress, every other member as an ally needs to stand up and fight back against this lack of decency. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.